number 15, Marion McGuinness. What a player. From Cavan Gaels, previously with Lacan Celtic, and before that with Armagh with Carrick Cruppen. Best friend of Caroline O'Hanlon, same age as well. We'll not go into the ages, but she's been around a while. She finished playing with Armagh in 2018, in fact, in an All-Ireland quarter-final against Donegal in Omagh, but still with plenty to offer. And she's been fabulous since moving to Cavan. She'll be sweeper today, and she'll be very, very important. She scored a goal, I think, in the semi-final. A couple of points before that. She's a physio, mum of 3. And certainly one to watch today, and I'm sure her experience has been key for the Cavan Gaels today, or will be today, and has been over the last year or so that she has been with them. Marion McGuinness, an All-Ireland winner with Armagh in Croke Park in 2012. She won the Intermediate Championship then, and she's still going now with the club in Cavan. So that's the Armagh connection today in this Monaghan Cavan derby game being played in Fermanagh, if you're following all of that. She's with Cavan Gaels, and it's the AIB Ulster Junior Championship final against Killeevan. And they are, well, I did ask this in the interviews at the preview night for the championship with, was it the captain? Yeah, it was, with Caitlin Green. And I said, where are you? And said, well, we're in the middle of nowhere. Beside Clonus is probably the best way of putting it. So that's where they are from, not too far from here in Roslea, and they are in the blue. This is Cavan Gaels we were looking at in the white, so they're reverse colours if you like. Their manager is Mark Graney from Killeevan, which is near Cavan Town, although he's got a joint manager in there, as you'd mentioned, Finian Farrell as well, who would be a dad of Ciara, who is number 13. And in fact, she's also part of the management team, so she's a player manager, number 13 for Cavan. So herself and Marion would be the two experienced players there for their team. And out in the middle, the officials are there. I was thinking maybe the manager or the captains are there. No, they're not there quite just yet, but they'll be on the way. But let's give the officials a mention. You have Leo Dugan from Armagh. He is the main man. He is the referee today. Fourth official is Anthony Campbell from Derry. And then on the lines, you've got plenty of breadth around the province here, because Francis Rogan is there from Down, and Denise MacDonald also from Armagh. And let's give the umpires a mention as well, since they're in the shot there. So the umpires, Shay Dugan Toll, Chris Lennon, Rhys Hughes and Keith Goodfellow. And you see there the referee getting ready for the start, and the captains coming in now. And the captain there for in the blue for Killeevan is Caitlin Greenan. She is the girl that I was telling you about that I interviewed. Her father would be Darren Greenan, who managed Monaghan this year. And her sister would be Michaela Greenan, number 3, older sister. And number 6 for Cavan Gaels is their captain, Niamh Bryady, and she is a veterinary nurse. So 6 and 8 with Leo, and the photographs being taken there. And they'll remember them in years to come. And they will be one of the, what am I trying to say? One of them will be lifting the cup at the end of this game. So one of them making a little bit of history here at Roslea Shamrocks in Fermanagh. The game is live and free to watch, both on Ulster Ladies YouTube and Ulster Ladies Facebook. We have 2 more finals tomorrow from Brewster Park, and they will be free to view as well in the same places. And one of them is also a Monaghan Cavan game. That is the intermediate final. And then the senior final, of course, is Errigal Kieran from Tyrone in that final for the first time since 2007. And they are up against Moneyglass from Antrim, who were in the final 2 or 3 years ago, and they lost to Donamoyne up in Owenbeg. So those are games tomorrow, but today very much about a Monaghan Cavan derby match here. A lot of blue and a lot of white, and Leo Dugan now will be tossing, but it doesn't really matter, I think, if you win the toss or not. There's no wind out there to talk of, and the conditions pretty perfect for this time of year. As you can see, the surface looks absolutely superb. Most of the crowd will be in the far side in the stand. A few brollies up, so there's obviously a bit of drizzle out there. Nothing too much to talk about, but we are in a beautiful spanking new media tower on the far side from the stand, as you can work out yourself, and it's fabulous. I wasn't here the last time I was here, but it is absolutely splendid and perfect for filming the game from. So well done to Roslea Shamrocks for that, and we're very near the start of the game now. In fact, Cavan Gaels have lined up, they're ready for the anthem, and over to my left, Killeevan are definitely not ready for the anthem. They're still doing a lot of their warm-ups, but Cavan Gaels have lined up and they are in position waiting for the anthem, and they're pointing over to the right corner as you're watching it, way over the other side, because that's where the flags are. So almost ready for the off. Both teams have suffered a bit of pain in getting here, but they are here. Adam Little, well, 80 Little he's known as, actually, not Adam, but it's 80 Little is the manager. He's been with them 5 years. Listen, a ski man, of course, not too far from this part of the world, and he's been in with Darren Green and with various management teams as well, so he's the main man. And he's got Orla Lynch in there and Philomena McGinn and a few others. And looking down the team, there's one change actually. I'm told Siobhan Tollett, number 7, replaced by Caitlin Connolly, number 18. That's one late change there. Captain Greenan at number 8, and then you've Ava Lynch at number 11, was player of the match in the Monaghan final, and indeed Orla Lynch, I mentioned, is her auntie. And then you have Karen McGinn at number 14. She'd be probably the baby of the team, and her mum is Philomena McGinn, who I mentioned there as well. Leah McDermott at number 6. And at number 12, Jane McGinn, or as she's put down there because she's a Gaeilgeoir, it would be Jane McFine, I'm told. So that is Killeevan. Let's go on to Cavan Gaels then and look through their team. A lot of similar names, a lot of Bradys and Lynches. In fact, 3 of the Bradys. Leah Brady, number 4. Carla Brady, number 10. And another sister, Shauna, in the subs, are all sisters. There's another Brady, Kim Brady, not a sister. But those 3 Bradys are one of the Gunner Bradys. Their dad would be one of the Mullahoran Gunners. So that's a connection there. Emma McIntyre at number 8 would be a cousin of the Bradys. Sarah Clark, player of the match in the Cavan final, at number 9. And Katie O'Mara, 14. Those 2 players would be ones to watch. We've heard their names and seen them coming up through the underage systems over the last number of years, and they're definitely 2 to watch at schools level, youth level. They've been absolutely fantastic, so they can win a game on any day. Sarah Clark was superb in the Cavan final, and Katie O'Mara got a key goal in the second half of that Cavan final as well. And as I say, the likes of Marion McGuinness will move out the field, leaving room for those terrific young players. And number 11, Katie Letty, is one to watch as well. She got the winning free against Drumragh in the last game, and what a game that was. Went to extra time, 3:11 to 3:10. And she is at university in Galway, Katie Letty. A lot of the girls on both teams are students, a few teachers as well, as you would expect. And by the way, the very first winners of this competition were the first Fermanaghs from Newton Butler in 1997. They won it again in 1999. And in the Roll of Honour, there have been 14 wins for Monaghan and none for Cavan, which is really strange, isn't it? So since 1997, Monaghan clubs have claimed this title 14 times. I don't know what that says, but it must say something, and Cavan have never managed to get this title. Downings, of course, are the reigning champions. They won it last year on a brilliant run for them, and you see the Killeevan girls in there with their management having a few last words. Cavan Gaels did come away from standing and waiting for the anthem and had a bit of a warm-up, but now they've come back into place, as you see now, coming into shot. So Cavan Gaels ready over to our right, and when you watch Cavan at any level, you always expect them to wear blue, but they are wearing white today. So Cavan Gaels. A rousing rendition of the national anthem before this AIB Ulster Junior Championship final, and the bells from the church behind the goals to our left go off as well at the same time, as if synchronised. Perfect atmosphere, real anticipation on the ground here for this final. And we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Feel free to leave comments there. Now, unfortunately, there's a couple of scammers on there on the Facebook page. We'll get our director to get rid of them very quickly. It says Sport TG Car, but it definitely is not. So don't be fooled by any of that. It's free to watch on Ulster Ladies YouTube and on Facebook. So we're on both of those. I'll keep an eye on there if you want to message me at all, or if you prefer, you can get me as well on Instagram. A lot of people prefer that these days. I'm on Jerome Quinn 1 on Instagram there. So So if you want a message there, we'd love to hear where you're watching the game from. We were on last week from the Leinster Ladies Finals, and we had messages all over the world, from the United States to Australia and just about everywhere in between as well. People on holidays and people in the Middle East and so on, with all sorts of connections. So feel free to leave a message and tell us your connection as well as the game goes on. And then towards the end, we'll have your thoughts on player of the match as well, because there will of course be a player of the match award at the end. So you've Killeevan there, and look who's sprinting past him, the girl that we had in the shot right at the start. That was Ciara Farrell. No, it wasn't. That was Marion McGuinness actually, but the two corner forwards, and she's running past into her position, so she'll be going up there. And now Marion McGuinness will come into the shot, and she just drifts over to the left, but she won't stay there. She'll come out and play sweeper around the middle, kind of a Caroline O'Hanlon kind of role as well, knitting everything together in the middle of the field. So that's the build up. Now for the main event, now for the real thing. And you see there number 14 for Killeevan, Karen McGinn, the youngest player I believe, and must be the tallest as well. She's gone in for the hop at the start, and the 14 from Cavan Gaels, Katie O'Mara, is in there as well. And then the two number 9s, Emma Corley from Killeevan on the left in the blue, and Sarah Clark, number 9, in the white for Cavan Gaels. So Sarah Clark and Katie O'Mara, two of the young stars that have come through, are out there in the middle of the field. I've seen them win many a game. I wonder, will they win it again today for the Cavan Gaels? So as I say, a sense of anticipation here. Stopwatch being sorted out, and we're going to be into this much anticipated game. The AIB Ulster Junior Championship final then for 2025. It's a Monaghan Cavan affair, and beautifully plucked out of the air from the hop right away by Karen McGinn, and off she goes, followed by Sarah Clark, but a determined run, and in the end she is dispossessed, and it's going to be a free out. Emma McIntyre, number 8. Now we have a microphone down on the sideline. I'm already hearing some of the managers yelling at their players, which gives you a bit of the atmosphere out here as well. As I say, it's rather subdued at the minute, but things I'm sure will liven up. Cavan Gaels taking their time here. That's Katie Letty, number 11, giving it over to Ciara Farrell. Pops it down into the corner, down into space, looking for the run, but the first person there is Erin Crudden, number 2 for Killeevan, gets there first. And they now will try and transition, and both teams pretty well set up, you would imagine already. You can see the way they're set up and drifting players back, all that kind of thing, very aware of where they are. We don't always get that at junior, but it seems to be the case here, and of course it's going to be the case when you have Monaghan and Cavan. Such terrific ladies football potential in those counties, and I'm sure it'll transfer in the senior county level in the years to come. This is Caitlin Greenan, the captain, and as I say, this is exactly what's happening now. You're getting one team dropping in defensively, and it's up to Ava Lynch now with Killeevan to try and find a way through, but really there's nobody there. She has to wait for a bit of support, so it's going to be a cagey affair, I think we can see from the first minute or two of the game. Trying to find a little bit of room here, and they're just popping the ball around, getting the feel of the ball early on and not really committing, and trying to tease Cavan Gaels to come out, but they're not doing that now. Ciara Farrell, number 13, that comes back to try and help, but this is the girl who got her hands on the ball right at the start, and she fires the first point as well. That's Karen McGinn, the baby of the team, steps up. She caught the ball from the throw-in, and she just made that burst away, and she got away from Niamh Bryady and put it over beautifully with her left foot. That's a great start for the Cavan Gaels, or for Killeevan rather. 1 point and no score, and you'd get mixed up with all the blue out there, but great score by the full forward, although I'm not quite sure she's playing out there. Well, actually she is. She's sort of gone into the full forward area now. Super finish, but now it is the Cavan Gaels coming forward to try and get a score. Sarah Clark. Again, there's only one player up there, and it is Katie O'Mara, and she wins it. No free, said the referee. Just two players coming together. O'Mara gets it again. Fed back out again, but nobody there. There's a huge gap over to her right, because the Killeevan girls have all just pulled in to that area, and they'll be delighted with doing that and getting the free. They'll say, well, that worked tactically, because they've just sat in and waited for the mistake. But yeah, these two teams playing like senior club teams. I've seen junior finals in the recent past where it's been a shootout and no tactics at all. It's been a bit hit and miss, which is very unpredictable, very exciting as well, but not today at all. And already you'll see a lot of this, players getting the ball around this area of the pitch and most of the other team will. 11 or 12 players have drifted back into position, and then they just wait for a mistake. So let them have it out around this area. This is Killeevan's fullback, Michaela Greenan, coming forward. That's what you get as well. You get fullbacks coming up these days in the modern game. Getting it to Anya Deary, and a little slap on the arm there spotted by Leo Dugan, so he brings it back after allowing advantage. So a free in for Killeevan. It's Karen McGinn again going for it. Looks pretty good to me. Just inside the post. Brilliantly taken free. Worth watching again. The way she curled that one in. And Cavan Gaels need to watch about giving frees away, because she will put them over, and especially as she's got one over the board right away. Now that ball has gone all the way over the top, and a chance for Cavan Gaels with Laura Gallagher now. She was a number 12 who's gone on ahead to get it to Ciara Farrell. They'd love to get their first score on the board here. McIntyre is a number 8, but she wants to get onto her right foot, feeds it off. But look at the Killeevan girls have all got back there, and they're trying to force them to shoot, but that might even end up on the net. I think it has, but the referee, no, has he allowed it? Well, he's pointing in that direction as if there was an issue, but it's not. He has allowed it. Let's look at it again. Obviously she was going for a point, but it dropped into the top corner, and the keeper just misjudged it there inside the post. And never mind getting one score, getting a point, they've got a goal, the Cavan Gaels, and they've turned this around from a 2-point deficit to a 1-point lead. Well, I'm presuming that she didn't mean for a goal, but Katie O'Mara has got a goal. She got a goal in the Cavan final, second half, and she's got one there. I think she'll be a bit surprised about it, and maybe as surprised as me, or maybe not. Anyway, it livens things up, doesn't it? Laura Gallagher again, and after Killeevan sitting in there and me talking about the way they've been sitting in and just patiently sitting there, they might think, well, maybe we should have pressed a little bit more. We can't let Katie O'Mara shoot like that, because here she is again with another one, and that's inside the post. Well, I told you to watch out for O'Mara and for Clark. That's what Katie can do. 1-1 for Katie O'Mara, and maybe that goal has just lifted them, and even though she was under a lot of pressure there, she got her kick away superbly. And that kick out has gone straight to Emma McIntyre, to Laura Gallagher, who's popping up everywhere. Well, they've started to find a way through, haven't they? Even though there's a lot of blue jerseys there. Is that a foul? It isn't. And she keeps going and just pops it over anyway. It was like everybody stopped, and she just drilled it over the bar. Katie Letty, number 11, got the winning free against Fermanagh in that epic game to get them here, and that's 1-2 in a couple of minutes for Cavan Gaels. And Killeevan, after making such a good start, have been rocked by 3 scores in a row. Well, so much for their defensive strategy then. They might have to rethink that a little bit, because they got players around there, but still Cavan Gaels found a way to get their scores. And that one's spilled, but Karen McGinn does well at the second time of asking and gets it to Emma Corley, the number 9. They come back out to Jane McFine. Now who's down in the corner? She's all on her own in there. Jane's coming over looking for the ball back and gets it back, and it was actually Leah McDermott up there, the number 6. Well, I was told in the interviews a couple of months ago that she'd be a most likely 5k winner, and she turned up in the right corner of the attack from centre half back, so maybe that explains it. Here's McGinn again. Scored 2 points already. I thought she was going to pull the trigger there, but instead, maybe more sensibly, gives it back out again. Cavan Gaels have 12 players behind the ball. And a tough challenge going in there, and it's a foul, free in, and I wonder will they take it quicker, will they give it to Karen McGinn, because she seems to be getting her range early on and might be the better option just to settle things down a little bit. Just checking your messages. Grace O'Gorman says supporting Killeevan from Vietnam. Best wishes to Jane McGinn and the girls. And that was going to drop short and tamely wide. I just check the Facebook page as well as we wait for this kick out. A lot of players just outside the D. She does go short though, and that is close, and McGinn nips in there and steals it away. That was a little bit too close for comfort. There was no room for error there at all, and this is the centre half back I was telling you about, Leah McDermott, very much up in the forwards with the attack, and it's Killeevan again putting on the pressure. This is Ava Lynch, player of the match in the Monaghan final. And now that shot comes in from the centre half back. Oh, and the keeper does well. She does well in the end between the two of them. And look who's back there. That's Marion McGuinness, I think. It is indeed, all the way back there, helping our goalkeeper and knitting it together very much in the way that her best mate Caroline O'Hanlon does with Armagh. The Carrick-Cruppen connection. Oh, and that could be intercepted again by McGinn. She nips in, but doesn't get it. So Killeevan pressing, but no score. Got the first two, but they've conceded the next three. And from that little minute or two of attacking, they haven't managed to get a score. And it's Cavan Gaels again. And you can have your defensive systems, but when you've got forwards who can breach that and who can score almost from any angle, then you're in business. And that's what Cavan Gaels seem to have today. They get it out to Ciara Farrell, but she gets a free. Now I wonder, will they be tempted to shoot from here? On Facebook, Sharon Murphy says, come on, brother, 80 Little. And team No Bother. That's the famous Little family from Lisnaskea and Fermanagh. So a little bit of family support there. Ball goes out to the right corner, so they don't go for their score and feed it in instead to Ciara Farrell, player and part of the management as well. Gives it out to Sarah Clark, and this is O'Mara again, and she doesn't think about it. She just goes for her shot. But that one tamely to the right, so maybe a little bit ill-advised on that occasion, but we can't blame her after the way she scored a goal and a point so far. Message from Brendan Rice as well. Good luck to Leo and his team. That's Leo Dugan and the management. Looking forward to a good game. Thank you, Brendan, who's in charge of the senior game tomorrow. He was also in charge of one, well, quite a few over the years, but I think it was one I was watching last night from Brewster Park, Dunamoyne, against Termon from many years ago. Brendan has probably done more senior finals than any other referee. Good to see him back and refereeing tomorrow again. Looking forward to that one, and it will be available again on a live stream, free to view on YouTube and Facebook. And this is Brady trying to bull her way through and does draw a free. And you see the scoreboard there. That's Killeevan at the top and Cavan Gaels on the bottom. Gaels are winning by 3 points, and this could now be out to 4. Katie O'Mara. Probably will score this one without trying to scud her. I did mention Brady going through with the ball. Probably a good chance you'll get it right if you say Brady if they're from Cavan, but it definitely was one of the Bradys, and that dropped short. And after the last one dropped short and went into the net, a few nervy moments there maybe. Killeevan in the blue. Similar to Brendan Rice's Warren Point in the junior final last year against Downings up in Kildress. That one went to extra time. I wonder, will we get extra time here again today? But although there's been a goal, I think it's fair to say these teams very evenly matched and playing a similar kind of football. But that one has spilled at a surface a little bit soft, and I'm not sure if that was to do with it or not, but spilled coming out of defence, and if you make a mistake you'll be punished here, I imagine. O'Mara gives it back out to Galligan for Cavan Gaels. They do look to have a few more options in terms of scoring, a few more places where scores can come from, whereas at the other end, well, I say that and then that's a Gary Owen up in the air that's just going to go wide. Or is it? No, it's kept in actually by Michaela Greenan. Whereas at the other end, I think Karen McGinn has really been the only threat so far for Killeevan. That's one back again. Well, they're getting a lot of turnovers around the middle, and now they get it to Carla Brady. Carla gives it to O'Mara, always coming out to get the ball, and a high challenge there from Emma Corley. And she immediately protests her innocence, but it was high, and the referee looks to be ticking at least for that. You see it coming in here again, and yeah, a little bit high there. And this is going to be a yellow card, I feel, for Emma Corley, and she already looks like she's resigned to that decision, so she will be going to the sin bin for 10 minutes, I imagine. So a blow for Killeevan early in this game. 13 minutes gone, so she'll be back at about 23 minutes, and the referee demonstrating what the issue was. Lorraine says supporting Anya Larmer and the Killeevan girls. Anya's in the subs, number 19. Orla Deary supporting Killeevan ladies from Oz, from Australia. Thank you for that. I wonder, are you related to Anya Deary at number 13? Katie O'Mara then. 13 minutes in, they've recovered so well after conceding the first 2 points off the game. O'Mara, a couple of drops short, and that one does not. It goes straight over the bar. 1-3-2, and the Cavan Gaels are motoring very nicely. Just shows you the value of girls who can score, can take a point from free and from play. And as I say, they've had more options that way than the other side. Now, Killeevan have struggled coming out of defence. They're playing it through the hands a lot, but it's broken down the last 2 or 3 times. They haven't been able to get up the field. Now they're getting over halfway, partly because the Cavan Gaels girls are drifting back, going backwards, but also that was a little bit of a 60-40 ball, but they managed to get away with it, and Caitlin Greenan takes it as quickly as she can, and that's probably a good idea. This is Anya Deary, who I mentioned a moment ago. She's trying to get on that left foot, but a fair distance out, and all the Cavan Gaels girls are in there marking that space, and Marion McGuinness very central to that. She's dictating it as well, using her experience, and really it looks at the minute that there's not many ways through for Killeevan, and that's going to be a free. So Karen McGinn immediately starts to amble over to take this, but they're not finding any other ways to get even close to goal, never mind to getting a point. Killeevan, the structure of Cavan Gaels looks like it's going to be difficult to break down. And McGinn with their only 2 points so far, but it seems quite a while ago. They'd love one here just to get them back, and indeed it just goes over the bar. 3 for Killeevan, 3 for McGinn. Now the last kick out, was it the last one, went short, and it was turned over very quickly. So this time she just belts it up the field, never mind that. And the long kick-outs have actually worked really well. In fact, that's gone all the way over and worked extremely well again, and gone as far as Carla Brady. Gives it inside to Sarah Clark. And Sarah held up, not fouled, but comes back again to Brady. And Brady does well, and she was nearly going to slip that to O'Mara, but in the end just takes her own score. And that's a super score. Well, just sliced through them with ease. Little shimmy. Dropped the shoulder, inside, found a pocket of space. That's all you need. 1/4 of the game gone, and it's 1-4-3 for the Cavan Gaels. A fortunate goal, but apart from that, you'd have to say they deserve it. They found ways through a congested defence that Killeevan have not managed to do at the other end. Now that's probably a key thing to do. Move it quickly, and they do that. And that was Emma Corley who played it out there, and I've just realised I got the yellow card wrong. And this is now McGinn. Will come back to that, but that's dropping short. Too short. That's a couple that have dropped short. That's Cavan Gaels coming out with it. And this is Sarah Clark for Cavan Gaels. Pops a lovely ball in, and look, there's so many blue jerseys there, but Katie O'Mara always manages to make a good run and find space, and is not shy at all about shooting from wherever she gets it, and she is on fire. Katie O'Mara, as she usually is. Super score, and I make it, that's about 1-3 from her so far. Katie O'Mara, the full forward. Cavan Gaels lead 1-5-3. She's causing them all sorts of issues in there. So as I say, I got a little bit confused there. I thought, did I get the yellow card wrong? No, maybe I got it right. I thought number 9 was still out there, but it was number 9. I went off, it was Emma Corley. I just thought, no, do you know what? I think it was number 8. But the numbers, whatever type they are, the 8 looked very much like a 9. I was doubting myself there, but no. Anyway, 14 players for Killeevan. That's the important thing from 3 minutes ago. So they're going to have to hold on here. They are 5 points down, and down a player as well. They need to really bed in here and try and stop these Cavan girls from scoring, which they're doing at ease, it has to be said. And that's a fabulous ball to Ciara Farrell. Now that's dangerous. O'Mara's there, they have to defend that, and they do, but it is actually going to be, yeah, it's a square ball, so it's going to be a free out anyway. But O'Mara, anytime it goes near her, you're thinking score, but not on that occasion. But yes, Killeevan and Blue really need to bed in here and get a bit of possession, and that's exactly what they're doing now. Coming out of defence through the hands, and on this occasion it seems to be working for them. Number 12 is Jane McFine, but it's broken down again, and another roar goes up from the Cavan Gaels crowd. Genevieve Keoghan come out with that, the number 2. Now they get it to Laura Galligan with lots of room around the middle. Cavan Gaels dictating the game and having a lot of the ball, but that one intercepted by Michaela Greenan. And she's a chance here now to build, and she wants to get it back from Leah McDermott, and does. There's not many options up ahead. Even though Cavan Gaels were on the attack, they've so many players back there, very defensively minded and keeping the house very safe at the back even when they go forward. And you can do that sometimes when you have 2 or 3 really good forwards. You can afford to put a few back, but this is good from the number 10, Ava Lynch, trying to get there, and does, but that looks like it might be going to the right, and it has gone to the right and wide. And Killeevan just need to get a few more shooters apart from Karen McGinn. Of course, it's not easy when you've only 14 players as well. And Leo Dugan ticking for something there. I'm not quite sure what it was. Now that kick out has gone straight to Emma McKeown for Killeevan. If she moves this quickly, she doesn't. Goes herself, but this could be the better option. Maybe she was right to do that, but then the challenge comes in, and it was Sarah Clark got a hand to it, but there was a foul just before that. In fact, there, if you see on the replay. So the referee gave advantage and then brought it back for that one. But you see how quickly the Cavan Gaels players got in there to close the door. So even when Killeevan get a chance to go forward, they're not getting a clear sight of goal at all. Huge crowd at the game here, actually. I'm just looking up and down on this side, which you can't see on the camera, but all the way along from the 13 to the 13 at the other end, it's 1 or 2 deep. Now McGinn to get her 4th score, and does. Well, she's keeping them in this game. 20 minutes gone, not single-handedly of course, but on the scoreboard single-handedly. 4 points for her and 4 points for Killeevan. Makes it a 4-point game, and I make it's another 3 minutes maybe until they get up to 15 players again. Kick out goes long again. She's got a really good kick on her, and that's an accurate one too, and Marion McGuinness looking for it, but it's just too far for her, and Killeevan have it. This is a good little spell now for Killeevan, and this is well worked. They've moved it really well and cleverly. They've got it to Emily Dawes, the centre half forward, who pops up there. Now's the problem though, how do they get through? Or just manage to get a pocket of space where they can get a point from. It's Anya Deary. Caitlin Greenan coming looking for it. But there's no way through. There's a lot of blue and then a lot of white and not much in between. 1 or 2 blues beyond that, but it's very hard to find any room at all, and in the end Deary fancies it, and that's the problem. When you shoot and you're under a little bit of pressure and you get a little bit frustrated and you put it wide, and it lifts the opposition and deflates your own team. I'm looking over to my left here where the Killeevan players are, and Emma Corley is jumping up and down. She cannot wait to get back into the play, but I think it's another 2 minutes at least. Good long kick out again, and beautifully snatched out of the air by Sarah Clark for her team, even though there was 2 players around her. Emma McIntyre, her midfield partner there. And they are so confident when they go forward. It's such a contrast to the other side. They're all confident carrying it forward. They're not fazed by the blanket defence. And they just know there's a lot of options there. And they know they can do it, whether they go through the middle or play it out to the side. They've managed to find space and little pockets everywhere. But that's fantastic play. And there might be a goal here. Oh, fantastic finish as well. And it's Katie Letty, the hero against Drumragh in the last game after extra time. And she fires that to the net. But brilliantly worked. Superb goal by Cavan Gaels. And they put real daylight between the teams. They found a way through the defence. Bang, what a goal. That's rocked Killeevan down to 14 players, and they were hoping to get up to 15 before there was any damage done, but that was serious damage. After they hit one at the other end just before that, where it didn't even trouble the goalkeeper. As I said, it deflated them a little bit. Cavan Gaels just have the answers, but is there maybe a chance here at the other end? Because Anya Deary has done well, and she's still got it. She was the one who swung the ball a minute ago. She gets it out to McGinn, who's got the 4 score. She'll want to get on her left foot. She does. She'll try it from there. Plenty of height, and a good finish as well. Well, they really needed that one, just to stem the tide a little bit and say, hey, we're not going away. Puts 6 points in it. Still a lot, but at least it's a good response to the goal. Laura Lynch with another lengthy kick out, and it's bounced rather nicely for her team. Carried by McIntyre to Brady. And that could be won back. It has been won back really, really well by Emma McKeown. This is Moya Sheeran. That's good work for Killeevan. But look at the defensive work there by Cavan Gaels. There's so many players back, and yet they still manage to attack at will, and they seem to cut out everything. Really effective play. And here is Marion McGuinness now, allowed to come forward because her team has the ball. She asked for a free from the Armagh referee. I'm not saying there's anything in that, and he gives it. It was a free, of course. So 6-7 to half time. And Killeevan get it back. And are they also up to 15? I'm trying to get, I thought the 8 was a number 9 out there. I'm trying to see if she's out there. She should be out there by now. I think should have gone in the last minute or so. So it should be 15 against 15. And it is, yeah, she's out in the play. And maybe that will lift things a little bit here. This is Leah McDermott trying to burst through. And again, they've dropped one short. They've dropped quite a few short and wide. And after all the work coming forward, as I say, it kind of deflates the team. Now they've got a lot of jerseys back. The Cavan Gaels don't seem to be bothered by how many players they've got forward. If they've 2 or 3, they don't seem phased at all because they know they're capable of getting scores. They're very inventive and patient. Sarah Clark gets it to Brady, gets it to the other Brady, her sister Leah. Shauna, another sister in the subs. This is Carla. It's the Brady bunch. Emma McIntyre switches the play, and nicely taken as well by Enan Lawton. Maybe she'll fancy it, just plays it down into the corner instead. Lots of blue there. But still Kitty Letty, I think, was looking to try and shoot. They're not shy about shooting at all, but Killeevan win it back this time. And there seems a bit of determination around Killeevan in the last couple of minutes here. Even though they conceded the goal, they're up to 15 and they've got players back and they're giving it everything. But those 2 goals have been hammer blows to them, and obviously they've been the difference in this half, and they've given it away cheaply. That's to Emma McIntyre, and she transfers it in quickly, but maybe too quickly because Michaela Greenan was able to get it in there. It's been a really good, fast, tactical, interesting game in this AIB Ulster Junior Championship final. And to be honest, you'd think it was intermediate, I have to say, from watching various games at these levels in Ulster and other counties. It's a really good standard for junior. You have to keep reminding yourself that it's junior. That is Emma McKeown turned over. Clodagh Doyle, the number 7, giving it to Sarah Clark. Always available, followed by Greenan. Fouled possibly. Referee gives advantage, so she keeps going, and she's definitely fouled that time. 2 fouls, and it'll be brought back for the first one. On Facebook, Trish McMahon says best of luck Killeevan. From Spelsy, I think that is, in the McMahons watching in County Clare. Elizabeth Smith says come on the Cavan Gaels. Crystal Johnston as well, and all those messages coming in on the live coverage on Facebook and on YouTube. This is Enan Lawton again. Slips it to Galligan. The referee's brought that back for a free as well. Quiva McGorman has messaged on YouTube. Quiva and Lauren supporting Michaela and the Killeevan ladies all the way from Vancouver. Thanks for that. Katie O'Mara then. I think she's got 1-3 of the 2-5. Between the arc and the D. That's going to drop short again. But on the rebound it could end up anywhere. And could end up in the net, and does end up in the net. But I think it might be square. No, it's not square ball. He's given it. He looked as if he might question it. But no, it's a goal. And it's a goal for the Cavan Gaels. And was it the captain? Was it Niamh Bryony? Let's have another look. Or was it the midfielder? It was Clark. It was Clark, of course. And Clark finishes it to the net. And that's a 3rd goal. And they're on the attack again, looking for another one. And it's Ciara Farrow. Oh, and it's just gone wide. Wow. Nearly 2 goals in about 30 seconds. Let's look at that one again. We were still watching the replay of the first one, and that would have been really cruel on Killeevan, but they have been architects of their own downfall at times. Coming out of defence, they've made quite a few mistakes, and they have been punished. So 2 to half time, 3 goals in it. Seems a little bit harsh on Killeevan, but as I said all along, when you have good forwards, you're in business. This is Emily Dawes for Killeevan, their captain now, Caitlin, trying to lift him, comes up against two players, but gives it inside to Emily Dawes again. This is better, they're moving it quickly. That's what you do against a team who are so defensive. Stolen away, but stolen away illegally. But it's the range of scores and the directness of their play as well, and the creativity. Cavan Gaels, that's why they have 3 goals and 5 points. First one a little bit fortunate, but they've been so dangerous and threatening every time they've gone forward, whereas for Killeevan it's always been the same player, and that one's dropping short. They need to watch that, and they do. And you saw Marion McGuinness there not leaving it the chance at all. She says, I'm not sure you are watching that, so I'm going to dive in here in front of you and make sure, and she does. This is looking for Brady, and she does well to keep it in just at the Killeevan dugout. Comes back inside, but crowded out, and Moya Sheeran gets possession for her team. So 1 minute to half time, and Killeevan will be delighted to get in there. And that's one of those balls again that they've just given away cheaply. You could see what she was trying to do, but just too many white jerseys around and didn't make sure. And look, there's where all the blue jerseys are. Look at them in that shot. They're all back, and they're probably getting a little bit tired now because they've worked so hard, but they weren't up in support. That's the problem sometimes when teams play so defensively, and then you go behind. There's another super score. Cavan Gaels have found so many different ways to score, different scorers as well, and that time it was Emma McIntyre. She stepped inside, shimmy one way then the other, and a brilliant finish. That's a way to do it. And it's 15-5. It's a 10-point game. Could have been more. There was another goal chance. It could be more now because Katie O'Mara has won it back. Killeevan survive in this occasion, but rocked every time with those goals. So the Monaghan girls will try once more before half time with Jane McFine. Can they find a way through? They'll take a point if they can get it. It's high, but it's gone to the right, I feel. Very right and wide. So we're in added time. I don't think there'll be too much added on by Leo Dugan. Oh, that kick out was arrowed through 2 blue jerseys and worked beautifully. And that's sort of the way that the game has been played. Cavan Gaels have always found a way through, and they've tried the difficult things, and usually they've worked. They've lots of confidence and ability, and confidence in their own ability. John McDermott says great to be able to watch Katie O'Mara all the way from Perth in Australia. Glad to be able to bring it to you, and I'm sure you enjoyed most of that first half. Jenny Reevy says come on Killeevan, from Jenny Reevy in Dundalk. So whether you're near or far in Dundalk or in Vancouver in Australia, I hope you enjoyed our coverage of the first half here from the superb media box they have here in Roslea Shamrocks. Just checking the YouTube messages before we go off at half time, and Mag says that's Enning. Jerome, I think she's trying to tell me all about the pronunciation of Enning Lawton. Yeah, well, I interviewed her and actually listened to her interview half an hour before the game to try and get it. I think she said herself, she said Enning. No, Enning. I can't get it, I'm sorry if I've got the pronunciation wrong. I'll practice it during half time. Cole Patterson says keep it going Killeevan, never give up. And those are the messages, as I say, coming in for the first half as we look at some of the highlights from that first half. And a lot of balls dropping short and caused a lot of damage. And there is one of the goals, and that was Sarah Clark who got that one. So it's half time. It's Cavan Gaels in the driving seat, leading by 10 points. Welcome back. Some strange situation here, but I know what's happened. They've such beautiful facilities here in the media tower. They even have a room underneath us here for the referees, and they've given them tea and sandwiches, and they're enjoying them so much that they're still in there. So the players are out on the field and ready to go. In fact, the Cavan Gaels girls didn't even go in at half time. Killeevan did. They've come out now, but there's no officials. They're still having tea and biscuits and all sorts of stuff. Well, actually there's a few officials round to the side, and here's Leo coming now. He must have finished his Tunnocks tea cakes. They even had Tunnocks tea cakes under there. My goodness, like, how do you expect people to leave and go out for the second half when you're getting treated to that? Now, I'm told that we have a great reception here, and the games are going out in really high HD quality, so if you want to go to that, you can go onto the YouTube there and click on the link and watch it in full HD. So it's as good as it can possibly get. You can put it on a big screen, it'll still look fantastic. Paddy Smith says great first half, keep it going. Marion McGuinness, Crystal Johnson as well, enjoyed that. So lots of messages coming in there on the Facebook and on the YouTube as well. Mags was on again, and she says both grannies are now online and watching. That's from Maggie Lawton, so thanks to Maggie for that as well. So all set for the second half. Cavan Gaels leading by 10 points, but you do feel that there's more in Killeevan, and look, she's won the ball again from the throw, and that is Karen McGinn. Now, she's been held up, but it's promising. She did this at the start of the game. Remember, they took a 2-point lead, and yet now they are trailing by 10, but here she comes on her right foot. There's at least a point on here. Oh, and she's blazed it wide. You know, I think she got caught in two minds there. She had a bit of room and was probably thinking, do I go low, do I go high? And in the end, she just sliced the ball to the left and it goes wide. And that really should have been a score. She knows that. She's been the main scorer, if not the only scorer. In fact, was she the only scorer so far for Killeevan? She certainly got 4. No, I think she maybe got to 5. But anyway, you had to put your money on her there. But that can happen. Cavan Gaels trying to come out, but stopped in their tracks, but they do get their free. Emma McIntyre in trouble, caught. Emma McKeown transfers it. She's looking for McGinn, but it's just too high. And that's kind of the way their game has gone today, Killeevan, and you feel that they need a couple of things to go their way, and a goal chance there, and maybe a point from the first effort would have helped turn things around. And as I said, right on the throw-in, you feel there's more in them, but they just haven't clicked yet. But when Killeevan clicked, maybe, just maybe, it'll be interesting. Now, it was an interesting collision there. You might have been thinking watching this, that's a free, but if the player coming into the challenge makes a big enough effort to avoid the player, it's legal. And don't ask me about how much exactly that needs to be. It's a very fine margin. But she avoided the player coming in, and that's why the referee said play on. You learn all sorts of things from referees. We can find out one last week in a Leinster final as we watch Killeevan coming away. They don't have many options. All I can see ahead of her is white, and she has to wait for Caitlin Connolly to come along, and she does. But Cavan Gaels, their work rate is amazing. They have so many players, and even look there, there's no options. Where's she going to go? And in the end, she does find a way to get it to Connolly, but it's so congested. Cavan Gaels' fitness is quite incredible, and they win it back, but illegally. So the example I was going to give you there was last week there was a player in the game and she got fouled, so the referee gave advantage, and then she ran on. And just as she got clear, she was blown back, and you thought, why didn't she give advantage? Why didn't she let her go? But she had overcarried. You see? Double jeopardy almost, if you like. So needs to be brought back. So the referee was absolutely correct. So sometimes when you watch a game as a commentator or even as a supporter, you're not understanding what's going on. So we bow to the officials. So Karen McGinn, a much needed score here, 3 minutes into the second half, and this should have been in the first 20 seconds of the half, but now it arrives, and at least it's a signal of intent at the start of the half from Killeevan. Maybe, just maybe, it'll lift them a little bit. I wonder, is it going to be one-sided, or will we have a thrilling finish? It's all up to Killeevan, really. Now, the referee is checking his watch, and I think he's doing that because the goalkeeper took quite a while there. And eventually the kick was taken and picked out by Michaela Greenan. Now, is there a score in Killeevan here? They really need it. They get it to their shooter. They get it to Karen McGinn. She's surrounded. Loads of players around her, but still gets her until still goes for it herself. And again, they just need a little bit of luck. And if you think about it, Cavan Gaels got a bit of luck with their first goal, and it set them on their way. But Killeevan just haven't had a bit of luck. at all in this game. But you could also say Cavan Gaels' defence has been outstanding. The way they get in and around her there, and also she didn't look like she'd confidence in her other players. She took it herself. But the way she's been shooting, you can't blame her for that. That's well won by Laura Galligan for Cavan Gaels, and takes it quickly and really well and gets it to Ciara Farrell, and she did brilliantly to just win the ball and deliver it quickly into Katie Letty. They've so many options, and Katie goes for her own score but puts it low into the goalkeeper's arms, and the game really is opening up a little bit now. And if the ball is transferred quickly, do you know what, I'm looking off camera and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Cavan Gaels defenders inside their own 45, and more coming in now. It's amazing how defensively set up they are, but I suppose it's the old cliche, they may as well keep the goals out and let them have the points. The cliche is something about take your points, the goals will come, of course, but they're just not letting them anywhere near the goal. And there you see what happens. Loads of players back and there's no options, and they kick and they leave it into the goalkeeper's arms, and they've done that so many times today, Killeevan, and as I said before, it kills the team really out the field. They don't get a score for all their move up the field, and they had a chance there. You thought there was Cavan Gaels, had a lot of players committed forward, and yet they had plenty back as well. They have a chance here though, and again it's McGinn, and again she's outnumbered, and again she's fouled. Free in. Oh no, it's not actually, it's a free the other way. The referee indicates that was a foul by McGinn as we watch it again here, and yeah, indeed it was one in there by Sarah Clark, and the foul then was by McGinn. Again, we bow to the officials. Leo, spot on. Cavan Gaels coming out of defence, and I think the main problem in the game for Killeevan is they just can't get their scores. They have had opportunities in this second half, they just haven't enough options, they haven't enough players, they haven't enough different ways of getting scores, and you really need that, obviously. Whereas Cavan Gaels have scores from a number of players and a number of different ways. So 6 minutes in, nothing much has changed. It's a 9-point game instead of a 10-point game. But Cavan Gaels, you feel, still comfortable. Lawton, with her grannies watching. They must be very, very proud. She gets it again. Did a great interview before the championship as well. I wonder, did they feel they'd be in the final? Oh, what a kick. O'Mara does it again. She is deadly. And she's playing in junior. She's playing like a senior player. That is fantastic. She has been so effective today for her team. 3-7 to 6. It's out to 10 again. And there is the difference between the teams. A shooter. Well, not just one shooter, because you could say that Karen McGinn, but a number of shooters. Driving run by Emma Corley. Brilliant from Emma, making up for being out for 10 minutes in the first half. This is terrific, but she's no options. Where's she going? Goes down a cul-de-sac, has to come back out. Can they find a way through Killeevan? They need something, but it spills and it breaks away, and Cavan Gaels snatch it away. That little cameo is kind of the way the game has gone. Coming together there, so the referee's going to hold this up. You'll see it again. The player is still on the ground, and yeah, just a collision there. And I think it was Sarah Clark, was it, who came in on the side. Gives me a chance here to look. Well, let's look at this again, actually, from the first half. And it was a goal, and it was a fabulous goal. What a finish. Boom, top of the net from Katie Letty for Cavan Gaels. 3 goals in that first half. In the second, just checking your messages on YouTube. Grace Mulholland says, go Carla Brady. Helena Duffy, come on to Gaels. And Funny is a name of somebody. Says, come on to Gaels, keep your foot on the gas. Michael as well, up to Gaels. So lots of support online for the Cavan Gaels. That's on YouTube, whereas on Facebook, I'll have a check there for you as well. And lots of comments coming in there as well. Jamie says, go on Anine. I still can't get that right. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop. And yeah, viewers in Australia and all over the place enjoying the coverage. Lots of viewers on both platforms. Big crowd here in the game and big crowd online. So tomorrow we have 2 more AIB Ulster Championship finals, the intermediate final and the senior championship final from Brewster Park in Fermanagh. Both will be free to view in the same places. It's Monaghan against Cavan in the first game as well. That's Bridget O'Neill's against Knockbride. And then on the senior game, it's Errigal Kieran against Monaghan, a Tyrone Antrim game there. So Cavan Gaels looking like they could well be the first ever Cavan team to get their hands on this trophy, even though Monaghan clubs have won it 14 times, strangely enough. Tap down for Killeevan by Michaela Greenan. Now they get it to Emily Dawes. Lots of persistence and determination and drive, but have they got the finish? That's where it's been missing. Apart from this girl, and she goes and gets her point. She's the shooter, she's the finisher, and she's keeping them in the game with these finishes. Now the girls had to get it to her, and they did, but she was a finisher. But it's a little bit predictable, and she's just not getting closer because of the blanket of white jerseys there. But she would seem to be the key, and if they can get it now from the kick out, it's Michaela Greenan again. Lots of room on the far side, so she pops it out there to Dawes, and Dawes does well, gets it inside, but just goes beyond Lynch. And those passes really need to hit the target. Maybe they're just forcing it a little bit, rushing it a little bit, and that happens when you are anxious because you're behind and you need to get through. But that was half an opportunity. Now the Gaels come through, moving the ball really confidently. It's just tell their body language, the way they look up, the way they kick it, and they have that option all the time of Katie O'Mara, who's so good at getting out in front. And even when she loses the ball there, she's got it again. Gives it back to the girl who started it, Carla Brady. To O'Mara again. Gets it out to Emma McIntyre. And O'Mara coming over looking for it again. Or will Letty do it herself? Well, she looks at the ball inside, and for once they give it away. Killeevan with a chance to transition up the field. There is a little bit of room here, but Cavan Gaels still have 6 defenders in their own half against 5 coming forward. So outnumbered, but is there a chance here? They really need something. Eva Lynch gives it inside, and once again it breaks down. They just can't find a way through Killeevan. Such a solid defensive unit in there from Cavan Gaels that have been so effective. Katie Letty gives it inside to McIntyre. So many good performances from Cavan Gaels, and again that is Brady in there, the number 10. Now it spills for Letty, and Letty has a chance. It just didn't fall perfectly for her, but she's going for the overhead. No way, don't tell me that's going over. Well, it nearly did. An audacious effort, very creative, and would have been certainly a Tuesday video on Instagram that would have got a lot of views, because it's something you don't see very often at all. Might have been a TikTok sensation. 42 minutes gone then. So the third quarter has yielded only 1 point each. Killeevan still in the same position they were at half time, but this might open up now. They have a chance here because Emma McKeown has a little bit of room, and before they all got over, she had a chance, but she blazed it. And again, that's that anxiety I feel. She knew she had to drive it. This at the other end a minute ago. Let's look at it again. Sure, well, why not try it? That's a pity. But no score still. 1 point each only in 13 minutes of the second half. Suits Cavan Gaels, and so does that. Good kick out, and it finds Sarah Clark. It's going to be difficult picking player of the match for the Gaels, presuming they go on to win this, which of course isn't a certainty. Lots of good performances all over the field, and then you sort of feel you have to give it to the likes of Katie O'Mara, one of the forwards, but key to their game has been that solid defence and that work rate, that strategy, that setup they have in there, just not to let anything through. This is Brady, she's at a great game. Letty, she's at a great game too, and the University of Galway student puts it over the bar, and it's 2-1 in the second half. The lead goes out to 11. Substitute for Killeevan, and it's Siobhan Toll, number 7, coming on to replace Caitlin Connolly, number 18, and that's the reverse of the change that was made before the game. 16 to go. 11 in it. Kick out is good though. Gets to Erin Crudden. She's got Emily Dawes ahead of her. But runs right through the middle, uncontested. Now is certainly contested, and it spills, but she's going to get the free. But it was hard work, I think, by Ciara Farrell. Or was it Crudden? Maybe, or rather Genevieve Keoghan, I think, number 2, maybe, who got back there. Michaela Green is going to take this one, not Erin McGinn. So Erin McGinn has gone to the edge of the square, so maybe they're hoping she can use her height and get a hand on this one and scramble a goal and try to spark a comeback. As you see on the scoreboard there on our screen and on the ground, 3-8 to 7. It's bleak for Killeevan unless it's gone to the right and it's gone wide. It ain't happening for Killeevan so far, and we're almost in the last quarter of the game. So they've made one change. I wonder will they be tempted to make another couple and just try something. Laura Lynch drives it brilliantly over to this side, gives good distance, gives him something to chase. It's won by Erin Crudden. Michaela Greenan again. Moya Sheeran. 3 defenders, all coming up to try and help. Michaela keeps possession, that's good. Gives it back to Crudden. And loads of room on the far side, that's a good ball as well. Let the ball travel. A different angle of the attack and fed into the middle and fed to Dawes. Is there a goal chance here? They have to go for it. And of course it's blocked in there. And it's blocked by Marion McGuinness, the Armagher. But she's blown for overcarrying, I think, coming out. So it's going to be a free in. But yeah, McGuinness is always there. The last line of defence before the goalkeeper. Using all of her experience. And that shows on the scoreboard. Still, McGinn will put this over the bar. And then it will be 2-2. In the second half. They call that a Desmond. 2 points each in the second half after 16 minutes. Cavan Gaels just going through the motions. Oh, she does go low and drives it. Nearly got through a forest of players. Well, you can't blame her for having a go. It nearly got in there, and it's going to be a free in again at this side. Well, it's a little bit early to get desperate, but I suppose they have to go for it. And they tried to get it again to McGinn. But maybe they'll just take their point this time. Tried to catch Cavan Gaels by surprise there and almost did. But it shows where Killeevan are at the minute. They're that far behind. They need something dramatic. The church behind the goals. Maybe they need to pray. Greenham will take her point, and that's 3-2. Well, they're leading in the second half. But can they get a goal? That's obviously going to be key. Doesn't feel like it so far. Kick out is looking for Leah Brady, but it's won instead by Emma Corley. Now this is Erin Crudden. She's been involved a lot the last few minutes. Look at that determined run she makes. Referee says get up. It's not a free. McGinn seem to be looking for it, but they're not getting it, so they just pass it around, and then McGinn is going to drive it wide. I put a bit of agony in that description because that's, I'm sure, how Killeevan feel. On YouTube, come on the Gaels from the Gagans in Galway. Maggie's on again, says never in doubt. Her granddad Paddy is at the game. That is Paddy Lawton, as in Maggie Lawton. And I'll check the Facebook in a minute, because here's the ball back in play, and the kick out goes to the same side, and this time it does find one of her teammates, and look who's up there. It's Lauren Sheridan, the fullback for Cavan Gaels, number 3, getting forward, and they give it up to Katie O'Mara. That's the plan. Get it up to Katie, and she is certainly fouled. And if Katie doesn't score, she comes closer, gets a free. She's been the out ball most of the time, and has got her scores and has been very effective all round. A change now for Cavan Gaels, 20 for 4. So number 4 is Leah Brady. So Leah coming off for the Gaels. And number 20 coming on is Shauna Brady. So one sister for another, I make it. It's unusual, this. Seeing a free being taken off the ground. Or is she going to lift it? No, she's going to lift it. Just killing a little bit of time, maybe. Trickiness. Jamie's been on from the UK watching the game. Now that's going to drop around the house. It could be dangerous, but taken by Maura Sheeran for Killeevan. Now she belts it up the field, but only straight to Laura Galligan, so it's going to come right back. And McIntyre feeds it out to Ciara Farrell. Well, two of the older players, Ciara Farrell and Marion McGuinness, you can see how crucial they are to the team. They do so much important work. This is Farrell again. Oh, and there might be a chance here, but it spills as Sarah Clark went through. That's Killeevan going to come away again. Yeah, I mentioned Jamie up the Cavan. He says cheering on from the UK. And Elizabeth Smith go on the Gaels from Lizzie and Max and Ardkeen. Those are the messages coming in, and I'm sure more will be coming in for the Cavan Gaels as well. Centre half back Leah McDermott trying to drive her team on. Emma Corley looking for McGinn. That was Niamh Briery trying to get out in front there, and indeed they do get the ball. But a foul on the way out, so there's going to be a little bit of a hold up here. So player of the match, I wonder what your thoughts are on player of the match. I know it's not quite there with 10 minutes to go, but who would be your contenders so far? I'd be looking at Katie O'Mara, Ciara Farrell, Sarah Clark. There's so many really for Cavan Gaels, but those kind of players to me would be standing out. It's hard to pick out a defender because they sort of play as a group, so it's hard to pick out an individual, but those sort of girls would be in the running. But feel free to put in a contender there. I'm thinking 14 or maybe 13 or number 9 at the minute, the way things are going. Can't narrow it down just yet. This is Sarah Clark. The Gaels in possession and in the driving seat. 9 points in it, 9 minutes to go. And it feels like the heart is going out of Killeevan a little bit, or maybe the fitness is going out a little bit. That's going to be a free in. They really needed something to happen, but they obviously realise they're just not getting closer. It's just not happening, and they're keeping going. But mentally you're thinking, are they just a little bit resigned to the way today is going? And if that's the case, you can't blame them. So Katie O'Mara now. So yeah, just leave a wee name there on YouTube chat or on Facebook. Who you think for player of the match? Katie O'Mara says it's me by popping it over the bar, but we don't always have to go for the scores. But of course she has been very good. Then Katie Letty, of course, scored that fantastic goal in the first half. Sarah Clark got a goal as well. So lots of contenders, but I'd like to hear who you think as well. Kick out is good. Gives Killeevan a chance to counter, and they do. That's great work by Jane McFine. Off she goes. Carries it forward. Can they get something here? They tried for a goal a minute ago. They get it to McGinn inevitably, but she has a shadow in there. She's always a player marking her, and I think it's actually Lawton, is it, who follows her all the time, or is it Genevieve Keoghan? But anyway, it's at least one. They'll try once again. There's definitely not a sign of them giving up. I don't mean that at all from Killeevan. They will keep going, but they need a spark. They need something to happen. And look at the Cavan jerseys in there. It's a wall. There's no way through. There's 13 players in there, but maybe, just maybe, Siobhan Toll can do something. They're working it. They're doing their best, and then the shot comes in over the bar. That's a point at least. It's something, but not enough, you feel. There's one vote for Katie O'Mara. Thanks, Kathleen, for that. So 7 to go. 9 in it. Well taken from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's kick out. Well taken and transferred. Look how quickly they do this. They've done this a couple of times. 2 passes and it's up into the full forward line, but this time it doesn't reach O'Mara. It was Lauren Sheridan who caught the ball from the kick out. Moya Sheeran. Greenan. hands it to Sheeran. Again, oh, there's a chance here, actually. Anya Deary steps inside. There's half a chance here. Oh, and it's blocked out. It's blocked out. That was half a chance, and it's going to come out for a 45 or maybe even a free. And there was surprise in my voice there because they haven't got through many times. And it was driven by Anya Deary, but at least one player, it was either Ciara Farrell or Marion McGuinness in the way as usual, just in front of the keeper all the time. Change for Killeevan. 19 come on there for 8, I think it is. Or is it number 8? I think maybe. No, it's not number 8. Might have been 10 actually. There's a number in the front of the jerseys, but it's tiny. Who's 19 for Killeevan? Let's watch this from Michaela Greenan, and she's looking for him again. Finds her. Gets a bit of support. Emily Dawes there. They could take a point, but they need to go for goal, and she is, and she's weaved her way through, but I think she maybe hopped it twice or something in there, the way the referee is indicating. Just checking who number 19 is for you. It came in there for Killeevan. I think it was 19, wasn't it? It was. Oh, where is it? Trying to find this for you in the programme, but you used to get programmes and it was just one match and it was in the middle, but there's 3 games in this programme for the 3 finals this week, and then I can't find it. It's evading me at the minute. I'll find it somewhere. I have a screenshot of it, so I'll get that for you. But meantime, at the other end, Katie Letty is through. Now she's tugged there, but still get a shot away, and that could end up in the net, and it is in the net. And Katie Letty with her second goal of the game. Well, she was the hero in the semi-final against Drumragh, and then that epic encounter. And today, the University of Galway student has made sure of Cavan, not just Cavan Gaels, but Cavan winning this title for the first time in the history of the competition. For some reason, Monaghan clubs have won it 14 times, but only once have Cavan, and that's today. And I'm saying that with a bit of certainty now. And maybe, just maybe, that'll give her the Player of the Match award. That one blocked down. Illegally so, though. And it's a free for Killeevan. Actually, number 20 for Cavan Gaels is tearing back into defence there as well. Did I tell you about number 20? Did I have number 20? I think I did. Yeah, Shauna Brady. She's the one who came on. So for Killeevan, it was 19. I promised I'd get to you. Anya Larmer, of course. Oh, look. Is that Marion McGuinness in there? Of course it is. 41 years old. All-Ireland winner in 2012 with Armagh, but she's very much a Cavan girl now, and that's a fabulous catch, and that sums up her performance today. She's been so crucial in there. There's been no way through. Has used all of her experience to get the Cavan Gaels over the line. That's the fullback coming out, Lauren Sheridan, and she can do that because Marion is back there all the time. So Marion has played like a fullback, never mind a sweeper. She's played very deep in there. Last line of defence before the goalkeeper, and very effective. Cavan Gaels looking to put on a couple more subs, and they might as well. 19 and 17 about to come in for them. 19 is Emma O'Reilly, 17 is Aoife Monaghan. Her name's Monaghan, but she plays with Cavan Gaels. And there's the sub. The Brady bunch have enjoyed today. 3 sisters. 2 of them started. 1 came off, another one came on. It's Cavan. It has to be a Brady bunch. And they've scored 3-4 points maybe between them. And they're one of the gunner Bradys. Their dad is a Mullahoran gunner. Famous history and famous win today for the Cavan Gaels. Oh, and Marion McGuinness is coming off as well, over to my left here, and she's a big smile on her face. And she's still running all the way along the sideline. She's coming now. If her camera goes down, you'll see she's getting lots of great hugs down below us here. That's Marion McGuinness in the bottom of the shot there, the Armagh girl, and she has a hug over the fence already. They know they have this one, and Marion, well, what an achievement for her. Marion has won a championship in Cavan with Lacan Celtic, and she's won one, of course, with Carrick Cruppen, and now she's going to win one again. That must be some sort of record. 2 more subs coming on, and they will be from Killeevan. 23 and 20 about to come on. 23 is Erin Connolly. 20 is Tara McCaffrey. So that in the next few minutes. Claire Clark has messaged on YouTube. Best of luck, Sarah and Cavan Gaels from all the Clarks in Baileyborough. Now Maggie has been on again with her vote for player of the match, and she's broken it up. She says Katie O for the scores, Ciara for the heart. Can't argue with either of those comments, but it has to go to one, and it mightn't go to her or either of them actually. There's so many contenders. 22 been lined up to come in for Killeevan as well, but it will matter not to the scoreline, or at least to the decision. Crystal Johnson says good one, Katie Letty, as does Helen O'Brien. Yeah, Katie Letty scored 2 goals, remember. Number 8, Emma McIntyre for player of the match, says Puddle Lane. And yeah, that's a good shout as well. She's had a terrific game. John McDermott says Katie O'Mara. So lots of votes coming in and lots of subs coming in. 21 for Cavan Gaels and 22 for Killeevan. Coming in, Rachel Cassidy. 21. Let me get this for you. 21 came in for Cavan Gaels, and that's Sophie Graham. I'll get you up to date with all the changes, as we are now on added time. So 5 points in the first half for Killeevan, 4 in the second, and that tells the tale. Katie O'Mara gets a good dig on that and puts it over. 4-10 is quite a scoreline. And yes, the goals were killer blows and came at times that really rocked the opponents. And one more makes it 4-11. Now that one went short and she picked it up inside the D, but maybe it's because she started running from outside the D that was okay. Just going on about technicalities and rules again. And Leo Dugan has refereed this game really well today. Let it flow and got all the decisions right, as far as I know. Erin Crudden driving on for her team in added time. 14 points down, but not giving up. Spilled away. Cavan Gaels looking to get away, but I think it's going to be a free to Killeevan. Or is it going to hop it maybe? No, free to Killeevan. Now at the end we're going to stay on for the presentation, and that one given away, given back to Cavan Gaels, and no doubt they'll look for Katie O'Mara, who's the only player up, and indeed Ciara Farrell looks up immediately and tries to find her and almost does. That's the plan, and it's worked really well for Cavan Gaels. They're going to be a threat in the All-Ireland series. Really well set up, and I know a few people from other provinces, and one province in particular will be watching today, because all the other provinces have finished their competitions and they know who's going through, and they'll be interested in this Cavan Gaels team. Really good setup, and when you've got a really good defensive structure and a few, maybe even more than a few, good shooters up front, you've got a fighting chance. Very impressive standard of a game for junior level. And Killeevan have just found the Cavan Gaels too tough and not to crack. 63rd minute. They may as well throw it in. Corley, well, it doesn't exactly throw it in, but gives it away. And Sarah Clark on the ball. I have to say, the more I think about the game, Katie O'Mara has been really good. Talking about player of the match, she's been really good and taking some great scores, but you can't always just give it to the shooter. And the first goal was a fortunate one. Now she's on the ball to see if she can prove me wrong in my estimation, but I'm not trying to say she hasn't played well. She's been key, but it's nice to give the player of the match award around, not just to the players who get the scores, although now she's saying, look, I can pass it, I can create it, there's 2 players over the far side and it might be another goal. Well done, the goalkeeper, good save, but it's going to end up in the net, is it? No, it doesn't. Credit to the goalkeeper, Katie Maguire, keeping that one out. Looked like it was certain to be a goal. Good save. But yeah, Katie O'Mara, look, you've had a great game, I'm giving you that. got the scores, but on this occasion I'm looking around because it wasn't just about the shooter, definitely not with this Cavan Gaels team. You could give it to Marion McGuinness, you could give it to Ciara Farrell, you could give it to Sarah Clark, you could give it to Emma McIntyre, but I'm thinking Katie Letty got 2 goals today. The student at the University of Galway has had such a good game and so important in an underestimated way. And it was her who kicked the winning free against Drumra in the semi-final. So I'm leaning towards Katie. Not Katie O'Mara, the other Katie. Killeevan. Try to work it in. Michaela Greenan. She's not going to give up. She'll try and find an angle, but there are no angles. Cavan Gaels will not be breached. There is no way through. 64 minutes gone. We're in the 65th minute. And I don't remember that many stoppages, actually. A lot of subs, mind you. So can't be long left. Ciara Farrell, well, she's been terrific, and you couldn't argue if she could player of the match. And look, she's still running. She gave that ball and she's running past lots of young girls. You'll see her coming into the shot. There she is. She gets it back. Fantastic game. And look at that delivery. Just needs to give it in quickly, and does give it into O'Mara quickly. She knew O'Mara would be there. They have such a great link between each other. And that's been so key right from the start. Confidence in each other. Just know where each other are and confidence that they're going to get it and not holding on to the ball. And that little cameo there from Farrell just shows how they play so well together. So we're right above the Cavan dugout and all the players are ready to run on at the final whistle, and that might even come, so you'll see them all running on as this from O'Mara goes over the bar inevitably, and I think we're nearly there. And if our camera comes a bit wider, you'll see them down below us here. They're about to run on, and I'd say, looking at the body language of the ref, he's about to blow the whistle, and they're all about to run on, and our cameraman Patter has got out there to get this shot. I'd say that's it, and indeed it is, and there they go. Cavan Gaels, unbelievably, they're the first team from Cavan to ever win this title. There's been 14 times it's gone to Monaghan. Not today. The Gaels have won it. The Cavan Gaels. Fantastic victory, and they won it in style. There was no doubting at all. But hold on, there's an Armagh girl in there as well, and she's hobbling. But Marion McGuinness, and all she's thinking about is shaking hands and hugging Leah McDermott from the other team. They're both physios, maybe that's a connection. But an All-Ireland winner with Armagh in 2012. She's won championships with Carrick Cruppen and with Lacken in Cavan as well. Must be some kind of record to win 3 championships with 3 different clubs and in 2 different counties, and she's trying to dance on one leg. Well done to Marion, and well done to the Cavan Gaels. Brilliant win for them, and they're trying to get a photograph already, even though they haven't got the cup, so they'll get one before and they'll get it after. And there is a great shot of the celebrations. It's Cavan Gaels Day. And what a win, 4-12 to 9 points. They won it in style. A brilliant performance. And there comes Katie O'Mara diving into the shot. They all want to be in it, and you can't blame them at all. It's been a team effort. They've been fantastic. And you know, they described the Cavan final as being the best day of their lives. Well, how does this one compare? And there might even be more coming. They lost 3 successive finals. The heartache. But even though it was a long time coming, they've got over the line. Credit to their management. Mark Greeny came in from Killygarry, a club in the outskirts of Cavan town, with Finian Farrell and Ciara Farrell, number 13, one of the management as well. So great management team, and you can see the way the game went today, the way that team is organised. What does it say there in the banner? Something about being sacrificed. But whatever they've done, it's been a family effort, as you can see there, with lots of kids coming into the shots as well. And that's what you get at club level. A great day for the Cavan Gaels. And I'm sure Drumra, Sarsfields from Tyrone are looking at this and thinking, we could have been there, because in the semi-final it went to extra time and they won by just a point. And that's the other side of the coin. Heartbreak for Killeevan. Came here with such high hopes, but you know, they've had an incredible journey too. They won their own championship after their own bitter defeat last year. They came back and won it, and they have a great journey to get here. But in the end, it was all really about the solid defence and then the finishing. And there's Katie Letty, my player of the match. How did she get that into the net? I don't know. In the first half, she scored a terrific goal. I like giving it a round as well. The players you don't hear about too often. And Katie Letty was fabulous today for her team, but you really could give player of the match to 7 or 8 different players. They're going over for the presentation, and Jerry Doherty, the president, will be over there, so I will bow to him in a minute or two. But maybe if I just go to your messages before we go there to read out a few of them. Callum Barry says Mark played with Gaels at minor level. That must be Mark Graney. Thanks for that. Maggie Lawton says fantastic win. Tom McEntee, brilliant result, well played. Cavan Gaels, I think he said he's watching in England in Doncaster. Kira Bohan says number 8 and number 3 for Cavan Gaels. Have a fantastic game. Well, that's Emma McIntyre and Lauren Sheridan at the back. You see so many contenders, but you can't give it to them all. Claire Clark said, oh, I'd already read that one out. What about Facebook? Is there any new ones on there just before we go to the presentation of the cup here at Roslea, Shamrock's ground in Fermanagh? Yeah, lots of comments on Facebook there. Sarah Regan, well done Laura and team. Maria Keenan, hard luck Killeevan. Emmett Masterson, congrats. Sharon Reel, well done Marion McGuinness, proud friends, you're a superstar. She sure is. And Aaliyah McDermott, Kevin Hand, well done the Gaels. Ethna McMahon for Katie O'Mara and Erin O'Mara, so proud listening in and watching in, no doubt. Well done Cavan Gaels, great performance from Joanne. They're trying to sort out the audio here. Congratulations Cavan from Jerry McDermott and from Martin Gilchrist. Emmett Daly, great win girls, enjoy the celebrations. Owen O'Reilly as well.
I want to thank both teams for an excellent display of football here today. And before we go any further, can we have a big round of applause for our runners-up here today, Killeevan, and to wish them well for the future. And while today is all about the winners who go on to the All-Ireland Series, and I take the opportunity to wish them well, I want to congratulate again both teams for an excellent display of football at junior level today. It shows us the standard of our game is very, very positive, very good in Ulster, and we wish them all well for the future. I also want to thank the Roslea Shamrocks Club for the use of their excellent facilities here today. They left no stone unturned to welcome us and to provide all that we needed on the day, and on behalf of Ulster Council I want to thank them, and we'll certainly be back. Thank you very much, Roslea. I want to also thank our officials, referee, fourth officials, umpires, linespersons, everyone who helped to put on this game here today, because these people help us throughout the year, and this is their big day as well. So well done to them all, and I call for a big round of applause for them as well. Thank you very much. I also want to thank the Ulster Council, my colleagues in Ulster Council, for their efficient discharge of their duties here today, both our paid officials and our volunteers. We can't work without them, so well done to them and thank you very much. It would also be important that I thank our sponsors AIB for their continued sponsorship of our competitions. They provide finance, they provide help for us, and without their finance we would not operate at the level we have, so well done to them. Thank you very much. Before we have the presentation of the Cup to Niamh Briody, we have the Player of the Match award today. And that player, there were lots of displays of good play on both sides, but it goes to the number 11 for Cavan Gaels, Katie Leddy. And now can I call for the captain, Niamh Briody, to receive the cup on behalf of her team.
Well, we were waiting for the captain's speech there, but she's gone into the middle of that. I don't know if we're going to get a speech. She just carried away maybe with the celebrations, or maybe they are. No, now we're going to have the speech. Ronan has got her out of that, and that was quite an achievement to be able to do that. And now we're going to hear from Niamh Bryady, a veterinary nurse, captain of the team.
I thought I'd no tears after the county final, but here we are. I have a few people to thank, so just bear with me. I'm better prepared. To start off, I just want to thank Ulster LGFA, the referee today, and the officials on a really good sporting game, and also to Roslea on the use of their fantastic facilities here today. Thanks a million. I want just to say hard luck to Killeevan. It was a really good sporting game, so hard luck today, but well done on a really good season with Killeevan ladies and everything else you've achieved this year, so well done, girls. I want to thank our sponsors, McIntyre's Furniture and Carpet World, for their continuous generous support every year, and everyone else that supported us along the way and got us kitted out for Ulster and put up signs and everything back at home. We really appreciate it. I want to give a mention to all the underage girls in the club and all the mascots we've accumulated over the last wee while. This win isn't for us, it's also for the club, and especially the underage girls. And if there's girls that go home today and say, I can't wait to play with Cavan Gaels senior ladies, then we've won. So just a shout out to the underage girls. To our supporters that are behind us here, you've been behind us since day one. You've travelled in all sorts of weather, and we've been away for every Ulster game, but we never felt that far away from home with the noise, the flags, the flares, the whole lot. So we're absolutely delighted to bring you along the way, and you're absolutely a part of the celebration this weekend, so thanks very much. To our wonderful management team, to Finian, Mark, Ciara, to Kieran and Alan, for all their time and commitment they've put in to get us here. You pushed us to new limits after the county final, and you managed us with such desire and passion, and always believed we'd get here today. So on behalf of all the girls, we want to thank you. We can't thank you enough, and I've no doubt if we wouldn't be here today if we didn't have this team over us, so thanks very much. Try and get through this without crying. To the girls, what an honour to lift this Ulster Cup on behalf of this Cavan Gaels ladies team. It's the tough of dreams, and I wouldn't want to make history with any other team, to be honest. Ulster football is something we've always dreamed of, and it's something we always kind of said, oh, imagine playing in Ulster, imagine getting to Ulster, what it would be like. And it's something that seems so far away, and you start to wonder, would we ever get to Ulster? But not only did we get to Ulster, we're bringing the Ulster Cup back to Terry Coyle! I'm so proud of what this team has become over this season. We've developed into a fantastic team, but we've also developed fantastic friendships and a bond that we'll never forget. I'm so glad the journey's not over yet, because I didn't want it to end today. I've just had a fantastic year with this team, and I wouldn't change it for the world. To finish off, if there's one thing I've learned about this club in the last few months is we know how to celebrate. Up the barricades!
Just a note, supporters are welcome to join us down in the bottom corner where the team will be for a photograph.
Well, that speech was worth waiting for, and I loved the way she talked about the youth in the club. They were playing at half time, in fact, out on the pitch, and she said they've accumulated a lot of young supporters, and isn't that terrific along the journey? So it's well done to Cavan Gaels. I wonder, will it be a double for Cavan? They're in the first final again tomorrow. We will be at Brewster Park in Enniskillen with 2 more live streams on the next 2 AIB Ulster Championship finals tomorrow, a double header tomorrow, free to watch as well. So hope you enjoyed today, and we'll be back with more tomorrow.